Well, hi, and welcome to week one. First topic of conversation as we think about how we build a roadmap for technology adoption and change is kind of that old reflection about who we are first before understanding the environment in which we're going to act and interact and create change. So the first topic that I've got us looking at is a little bit of self-study. Got a very simple assessment for you to take, just ask you a few questions and kind of plot you along a fairly recognized or established line from early adopter down to a more technology resistant person. And I guess the first thing I want to say is with any of these kinds of simple queries, quizzes, if you want, if the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe doesn't fit, well, kind of reevaluate and trust your own instincts. These are not particularly important, validated kinds of assessments in any way, but they may help give you some ideas and some thinking about what kind of person you are in relationship to technology. Now, I'll note in the assignment that I come out as a fairly high technology adopter, somebody who picks up technology early, but yet at the same time, I don't know that that fits me completely. I have a Kindle, a couple hundred books on it, in fact, but I'd be much happier carrying around real books, paperbacks that I could read and turn pages on. That doesn't mean that I prefer the technology over the more antiquated traditional forms of a book, but I'm also ready to recognize that with a lifestyle that involves a lot of travel, well, having a Kindle is a lifesaver to be able to do that. So the question for you really is what's your relationship with technology? Are you one of these people who's going to stand in line to get the latest edition of an iPhone or some new technology? Or are you somebody who's going to have to be coerced or invited and dragged along a bit reluctantly into technology? And the reason that this becomes such an important question is when you start thinking about how you engage a group of people, be it a business, be it a university, be it a K-12 school. You have to understand that your view of the world does not necessarily represent their view of the world. And by taking a look at where you are on this continuum, my hope is that you'll understand, number one, there is a continuum, and that people are at different places along that, and that there are strategies that you can discern and embody to help focus on those kinds of individuals. An example, if we take somebody who's a very early adopter, somebody who's ready to jump on the newest technology, by and large, the strategy for getting them on board is to give them the technology and get out of their way. And, there's no great miracle to that. Try to provide resources, try to create a scenario in which they have to provide some feedback on their experience to the larger public, and then kind of get out of the way and let them create and innovate and do. On the other hand, at the very opposite end of the spectrum, somebody who's a strong technology reluctant, you might want to think about not investing too much energy or effort. Teaching in most cases doesn't require technology. If you're engaged in this course, you probably believe that education can be improved, that training can be improved by the use of technology in discrete, intentional, well thought out manner. Okay, but there are those who simply aren't going to embrace technology in any way, shape, or form. They're still struggling perhaps with email. What's your return on investment? If you invest a lot of energy in trying to coax these people on board or get into a battle over trying to force them on board, what's your return on investment for that? Well, the answer would appear from around the world that the return on investment is very little. It's a lot of frustration on your part, very little movement on their part. So, what you want to do is take a focus on those that can be moved more easily, build critical mass, and let that move forward. And in order to really do that or to understand that, the question becomes, where are you? What is your position on the continuum? And what's your natural assumption about the way other people are going to see the world of technology. I mean, one of our greatest problems is that we come into a situation, and not at a conscious level so much as a subconscious level, that we come in with the assumption that people are going to understand our view, agree with our view, relate to our view, and share that. And the reality is, of course, that's not true. So then we run into these people who pull you up short with your nicely laid plans, your projects all laid out, you've strategized how you're going to move your organization forward, and then you run into these roadblocks. And you run into these roadblocks because people fundamentally aren't seeing the situation or making the same set of assumptions that you are. What do we do about that? Well, we're going to work through that over the course of the next 6 weeks. But for this week, all you have to do is concentrate on who are you? What's your relationship to technology? What's your role engaging technology at the workplace? How did you end up there? I mean, was it an accident? Did you intentionally seek to be in a linchpin technology role within your organization? Was it thrust upon you? Are you yourself a reluctant technologist? Or are you somebody that's jumped on board early and enthusiastically and is one of the great cheerleaders in the organization? So we will be providing more formal materials with content and information to help inform you about this. But this very first week, there's a little bit of self-discovery. I want you to go find your own readings, which means you'll have to look at a bunch of stuff, sort through it, make a decision about what kind of article or white paper you're going to bring to the group. We're going to make sure that everybody's first assignment, which is really just bringing one article to the table, is shared with everybody. Then you'll have an opportunity within a discussion board to go ahead and talk and read some of the articles other people brought, take a look at them, and engage in a bit of discussion around that. But your initial posting really is about what kind of institution or organization, what's your role, how comfortable are you with technology, if you are indeed somebody who provides direct service through teaching, how well integrated is technology in what you do, and and then take a look at what other people have said and respond to them. And I hope that'll be a very interesting first week. So whether it's physician heal thyself or teacher teach thyself, I guess in this case it's learner know thyself. And I hope that we'll have some fun with a little bit of self-discovery this week. Workload should be a couple of hours throughout the week. It's not very intensive. I can promise you that the workload will step up in week 2, but let's get you off the ground kind of easy. It is my hope to find during the first week a couple of common times when I'll be online via Blackboard Collaborate, office hours, if you will, or just an opportunity to chat about an idea. We'll see if we can make that work. But whatever, I hope you have a wonderful first week with this course. I'll look forward to reading your work and interacting with a few of you. Take care.